In this lesson, we'll continue to pose out our extremes. Now we've reached the part where the character is trying for his first attempt to lift the weight. So let's go to frame 30 since it's going to be a pose of tension, and we'll pose out the character trying to lift the weight here, so we can rotate his center of gravity back, and his back control too, and his chest control will rotate that forward some because of the pull. And for his let me undo that. For his shoulders, let's go ahead and bring those down. The scapula controls to show the pull. Okay, and we can start tweaking the upper body or with the center of gravity control, bringing that forward and down some so that the arms are still on the bar. Probably need to bring the shoulder up because one arm's bent while the other arm isn't, so we want to make sure that both arms are locked onto the bar. And we can rotate the head down for this pull and bring it forward some. Okay, so let's go ahead and scrub through our animation to see how our pull looks. We want to make sure we check our animation in all views, and it's looking pretty good, but I think the pull can be a little stronger, and right now we're not getting that. But what we can do to get that is to exaggerate the pose on our second pose a little bit more than it is right now. So we definitely want to have exaggeration in our animation, because not only does it add to an appealing factor, but it also adds to a more believable animation as well. With CG, you definitely have to exaggerate your poses. So let's go ahead and work on exaggerating this one a little bit more. Maybe translate it down with the center of gravity and rotate it down a little bit too, like that. So when we scrub through now, bam, the pull looks more it's more intensified. Okay, so we need to still adjust the shoulders a bit on frame 10, as we did move the character down a little bit more. So let's make sure that the shoulders are a little bit more up, like that. And when we scrub through, we get a nice pull now. Bam. Okay, so there's the character's first attempt, but he realizes that he's going to have to put forth more effort. Okay, so now we've reached the drawing 4 of our storyboards, where the character's now going down for a second attempt, this time with more energy. So we can bring him back and bring him down in the center of gravity. Really rotate him down some more. Okay, we definitely don't want this pose, but we're working on it. Sometimes you get some weird poses when you're starting initially to pose your character, but we want to remember to keep our character in an extreme, posing out extreme exaggerated poses. And of course, with a more realistic animation, it's going to be less exaggerated, but you still want to have it in there. So we'll go ahead and position the head, bring that up some, rotate it up. Okay, and notice again I'm only rotating in the X for right now. Okay, maybe we could rotate the center of gravity down some more and bring it forward so that the chest is about on the bar. Okay, we also want to make sure he's balanced. Alright, we definitely need to adjust the shoulders, bring those back due to how far he is down. So work on that. For his elbows, let's go ahead and bring them up some. We could translate them forward, maybe down a little bit. Okay, and his head, I think we could rotate that up a little bit more than it is, and also translate it up a little bit more. Okay, so when we scrub through, he's going for his second attempt now. So we'll check our animation. Alright, so our pose is looking pretty good. Now we've come to the part where he's going for his second attempt, this time with more of an effort in the pull. So we'll want to make sure that this pose is a little bit more exaggerated than our pose on frame 30. So let's go ahead and start working on this one. I'll rotate him up, bring him down, rotate him up a little bit more. The back, we could bring that forward a little bit more, and the chest, we'll rotate that a little bit more forward as well because of the pull. We'll bring his center of gravity back. Bring that down some so we get the arms pulling. And we'll definitely need to adjust this shoulder here so that the arm can be locked. But because it is pulling, we need to actually rotate the shoulder forward and this one as well. And we want to keep them somewhat even. Not exactly identical, but near to it so it looks natural. Bam. And then for his head, let's go ahead and rotate that back a little bit more to exaggerate it. And for his shoulders, I think we could bring those down a little bit more than they are right now. Again, because of the pull. And for his center of gravity, we can translate that up till his arms are locked. Okay, so here's what we get when we scrub through. Bam, now he's really trying to pull up. And to tweak out this pose a little bit more, we could bring him forward and adjust his shoulder here. Perhaps bring it back and up so that the arm is locked. And for his right shoulder, let's bring that down so his hands are still on the bar and not sliding off like they are now. Okay, that's fine for now. So we'll check our animation in all views. Make sure we have a nice silhouette. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so there's our next pose. Bam, where the character's now really trying to pull up on the weight. And that completes this lesson. In the next lesson, again, we'll just continue posing our extremes based off of our storyboards.